I got lots of Manistee, but I'm Gladstone. That's where I own property there. All my kids are Gladstone. But then my dad, who's 93 years old, he had to have a caregiver. So I just home back to Manistee to take care of him.
Clueless about what's going on here today. A whole lot more that are raising hands. How many have never been to one of these sales before? You're just a little apprehensive about what you're doing. Usually, and they did so. We have a court order. It's on file with the circuit court in each county where the property that we're selling today is located. They have voided all of the deed and land contract ownership interests. Any mortgages or security agreements or construction liens, judgments against the owner, old utility bills, IRS and other tax liens, condo and property owner association fees, unrecorded interests of all kinds, everything void, wiped away, clean slate as of March 31st, 2017. Some things are not affected. If you buy a piece of property today, and we would rather discuss, they are still there. If there's anything beforehand, then argue with you about it later on today. You have to have a valid photo ID in order to register. You have to prove who you are. You must be registered before you can bid. When you're bidding today, you're accepting the rules of the sale in their entirety. They're listed in the book that you've got in your hands, right under where it says rules and regulations. You might want to take a look at those. There are some things in there that we probably won't discuss before the sale, some minor points. If you want to know everything that's involved, take a look at those rules before we get to the parcel that we're offering that you're interested in today. These properties have been through a multiple notice event known as a tax foreclosure. We've got an order from the court that vests the title in this property in the name of the county treasurer. We've sent all kinds of tax bills. We sent tax bills after tax bills. The township sent them. Then the county sent them. They didn't get regulation of the property is pretty much still in place. We don't have any cropland, so I'm not going to dwell a long time on that. Please make sure that you know what you're buying today. There are no refunds today. Everything is sold by a quitclaim deed. We do not guarantee that you can get title insurance. It's likely, but not absolutely guaranteed. Everything is sold as is, where is, with all of its faults and defects, whether known or unknown at the time of sale. No guarantees, no warranties, no representations made of any kind other than what you're buying is the legal description listed in the book that you've got in your hands. Every piece of property has either a measured description or a subdivision or condominium name and a lot or unit number. That's what you're buying today. Do not base your bidding on an address or a photograph or a text description or what your brother-in-law told you is there. You're buying the legal description of land listed in the book. These properties can have all kinds of problems, and some of them do. You name it, and it can be included on a list of what's wrong with what we're selling today. Frozen plumbing, leaking roofs, bad foundations, water lines, sewer lines that don't work anymore, infestations of all kinds, underground buried storage tanks full of fuel oil, contaminated property, property line issues, wells and septics that aren't even on the land. No extra charge. That piece of property on the screen right there has everything on that list. I've been selling these 17 years. I've only seen one property in all this time that has everything on that list, and it's right there in that picture. It's in Ontonagon County. It's right behind Mr. Usamaki's place just north of Bruce Crossing. And over 17 years, we have sold that piece of property 3 times. Somebody bids on it because they think they're getting a deal on a little place up north, and then they go look at it. 3 times we've sold that because people didn't pay attention. Guess what? It's for sale again tomorrow. It's at the Sale and Waters meet. If you want to be there, you can buy that for your real estate portfolio. Please Understand what you're bidding on. There are no refunds. Here's how we're going to sell today. You've all got a copy of that sale book. Everybody in here went through that line. I've got a copy of the sale book too, and I know what you're here to bid on. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got 8 pieces of property out of everything in this book that probably half the room is here to bid on those 8 pieces of property. We're going to sell those first, okay? So if there's something that's on the last page and I got 30 people that want to bid on it, you don't have to wait till 11:30 tonight to buy it. We're going to sell the most popular pieces first. That gets everybody out of here. Then we go back to the beginning of the book and we sell them in order, and we're going to skip the pieces nobody wants. There's going to be a considerable amount of stuff today nobody in this room wants. Maybe the people online don't even want it either. Before we skip each piece, we'll ask if anybody in the room wants to bid on it. But we have a pretty good idea, because you've been through that line, what you're here to bid on today, and we're going to sell the popular pieces first. Then we're going to sell in order the stuff that you are here to bid on today, and we're going to skip the stuff that you don't bid on. We've had some of these sales in the past run till 11:30 at night. This year we haven't had anything run past about 3 o'clock. It's because we're doing little streamlined things like that now. When we open a piece of property up for bidding, here's how it works. In your book, you're going to see a number there that says minimum bid. Where did you guys come up with that number? That property's not worth that much. I won't pay that much. Well, you're going to have to if you're buying it today. We can't sell it for less than that minimum bid. That's what that piece of property owes the county. That's the back taxes, the cost of the foreclosure, sending certified letters, sending somebody out to look at the property. Sometimes we've had to mow grass or board up windows. There's a little bit of interest in there. That's what that piece of property owes the county, and we can't sell it for less than that today. That minimum bid might not be the opening bid, though. We have had these open online for bidding until 11 o'clock today. I've got all of those bids right here in front of me. I know what they are, how many there are, and how high they'll go. I think I saw a piece of property in the pile that's already got 20 bids on it. We're not going to open up at the minimum bid if it's $300. If I've already got a $15,000 bid online, we're starting at $15,000. So we're going to open up each piece of property either at the minimum bid in the book or a higher one if I've already got one online. Once it's opened up, we then increase the bidding by the numbers you see on the screen. Until we hit $1,000, each bid goes up in round numbers at least $50. $450, $500, $550, $600. Between $1,000 and $10,000, the minimum increase is $100 at a time. $10,000 and over, the minimum bid increase in a round number is $250. 12 and a quarter, 12 and a half, 12,750, 13,000. Not 1301, nothing like that. Round numbers. The people online have to bid in these increments, so do you. People bidding online can only increase their bid one inch at a time. You guys in the room can stand up and shout out any number that comes into your brain. That's called jumping the bid. You'll see it on some of the more popular pieces that even though maybe we're at $10,000 and we should go 10 and a quarter, 10 and a half, 10,750, but if I can see that I've got 15 cards in the air, I might very well just say, who wants to give me 200,000? And if you hold that card up, you will have my immediate undivided attention and you'll be well on your way to winning. That's called jumping the bid. Feel free to do it. If we have obviously a lot of attention on a particular piece in the room, I might ask you to exceed those bids. We can always do it the slow, painful way. But if I already know that I've got a bid online that already exists for a certain amount, and if we're a long ways from it in the room, I'm going to try to use the gas pedal and get us there a little further, because you're not going to buy it cheaper than that anyway. This is important stuff. Most of you in this room have never been to one of these before. Some of you in this room can't bid today, and you don't even know it yet. I'm about to tell you why. The Michigan legislature has added a couple of rules. We've had some bad actors, some bad hombres buying at these sales in the past, people that don't take care of their property, people that you are glad you don't own something next door to. This is the rule from the Michigan legislature. They've got a couple of them, but this is one of them. You cannot buy property today. You can't have your fingerprints anywhere on this process if you have any other properties with delinquent taxes in these counties. If you are getting all of your tax bills from a city or village or township treasurer and you pay them when you get them, you're good to go. If you have a pile of tax bills sitting on your desk at home that come from the county treasurer, those are delinquent taxes. You can't bid today. It's against the law, and there's a criminal penalty if you try to. I got an email just before the sale from a county treasurer downstate. She thought she recognized somebody at the sale last week bidding on something. They were in her office today trying to pay up their delinquent taxes. Her file's getting closed, her sale's getting canceled, and it's going to the prosecuting attorney's desk. You don't want to be in that little folder of problems right there. So if you're buying today, you can't have delinquent taxes. You can't have any association at all with any property in these counties that does. You also can't have unpaid civil fines. What are those? Let's say that you've got a bunch of rental property. Your taxes might be paid up, but you don't mow your grass as often as the village thinks you should. They mowed it for you and sent you a bill and you haven't paid it. You can't bid today either. If you do, there is a criminal penalty for doing so. You can't send somebody to bid for you. You can't send your brother-in-law to the sale to get his own bid card because he doesn't have any delinquent taxes and then show up at the table to pay and use your check. That doesn't work. You can't be listed on the deed. Somebody bid for you. You can't pay for the property if you have delinquent taxes. You can't be involved in this at all. This includes trying to hide something in a DBA, LLC, corporation, or other partnership name. If you're trying to buy something today and put it in a business entity name, we have a special little form for you to fill out where you're going to testify under an oath as to the name and address of every partner, shareholder, or other member of that company. We're going to check everybody to see if there are delinquent unpaid taxes. If so, your sale will be canceled. This includes a piece of property that you might have a title interest in, even if you don't think that you're personally responsible for paying those taxes. If you own a piece of property with some siblings or relatives or deer camp with a buddy, and that other person's supposed to pay the taxes, if they're delinquent, you can't bid today. If you have a piece of property you have sold to a third party on a land contract, you sold it to somebody on a contract, they're making you payments, you hold the deed to that, they're a land contract buyer, they're supposed to pay the taxes, but if they have not, you can't bid today. It's against the law for you to bid. If we discover that you did anyway, we're going to cancel your sale. We have several kinds of bidders today. We have a whole room full of people in here to bid. I have bids that took place online up until 11 o'clock this morning. I have a list of those bids in my hand right in front of me. I know how high they'll go. What I don't know about yet is the people bidding live online. On top of that projector in the middle of the room, there's a little tripod with a camera with a built-in microphone on it. All of those people, we've verified their identities. We've collected a $1,000 credit card deposit from them. They can bid against you from anywhere on the planet during the time of the sale. I'm going to remind the people using the live bidding interface, bid using the audio and video feed as your frame of reference for what's happening in the room. There's going to be a delay. You'll be bidding on the wrong piece of property. Use the text on your screen to bid. It'll give you a much clearer idea of what's happening in the room at the time. Sometimes we have paper absentee bids, people that could not be here, they don't use or don't trust the internet. We don't hardly see any of those anymore. I don't think we've got any today. There's a bunch of other fine print in the rules and regulations. We're not going to go through all of it. You can take a look at it while you're waiting for your parcel to come up. One rule, though, that I do want to stress is if you win today, you have to pay today, and you have to pay in full today. Had a guy show up at a sale downstate a couple weeks ago, spent $40,000, and came up afterward and said that he was expecting his insurance settlement check in 3 or 4 weeks. That's not today. Had another guy that bought online. The online bidders get a couple days to get stuff sent in or wire it. Got an email from the guy after the sale. He needed 4 weeks. We don't have that kind of time. If you buy today, you're buying in the room. You have to pay today in full with the clerks back there. After we're all done selling, we're going to have a little bit of a line trickling out as the last few winners pay for their stuff. Once that's done, we're going to look around the room and see if anybody's on the phone or whatever. If you need to leave the building, you need to let the clerks know that you're going out to find some money or whatever it is that you need to do, but we expect you to be able to pay within about 30 minutes of the time we sell the last piece of property. If you can't pay today, you should not be bidding. If you're bidding online, you're going to get an email within 24 hours. It'll give you all the information you need in order to pay. If you don't see it in your inbox, check your spam filter. If it's not there, call the office. They'll give you some help. First $1,000 you give us today has to be certified funds. That's a cashier's check from a bank. That's a non-refundable deposit. If you're buying something today less than $1,000, you can write us a check for the whole thing. But over $1,000, the first $1,000 has to be certified funds. Over and above that, we will take your personal or business check, credit cards, money orders, or more cashier's checks, more certified funds. We cannot accept your payment today using a wire transfer unless you're bidding online. That's how we actually would like them to do it. But we do take credit cards, Visa, MasterCard, and Discover only. We do not take American Express. They won't let you buy real estate on that card. We don't accept cash. If you brought a great big bag full of cash, you're going to have to go to Walmart and stand in line to convert it into $500 money orders. What are you going to pay today if you win? Here's how the math works. We're going to arrive at a final sale price here in the room. Add to that three things. There's a 10% buyer premium. That's the cost of conducting the auction and putting the signs up and taking the pictures and doing all of those fun things. There's a $30 charge per parcel for recording your deed. We're going to create a deed, take it to the Register of Deeds office in the county where the property is located. They're going to make a copy of it, put it in the permanent county records, and they're going to mail it back to you. You're also today going to be paying the summer tax bill. That's another little raising of the bar that the Michigan legislature did to us recently. They said if you're buying something today, the taxes on that property have to be current as part of the sale. Therefore, if you look at each piece of property, at the end of the description, you're going to see a summer tax amount. We're going to be collecting that from you today in addition to the other charges. If you're buying something today in Dickinson County, there have been some minor adjustments, just a few dollars on each one, a little bit of interest adjustment because it's in a different month now. So if you are buying in Dickinson, they've actually got a copy of the list of those amounts back there with the clerks. Just if you've got a tax showing in that book that's $100 or $200, you're probably talking $3 or $4 change. Not significant amounts, just minor adjustments. So what you're going to pay today is the final bid price, 10%, $30, and the summer tax bill. That's what you're paying today. If you're using a credit card, add 2.75%. That's the cost of credit card processing. That's passed along to you. If you need to leave the building to get your money or to do something or to make a phone call or get something arranged, let the clerks where you checked in know what your bidder number is and how long it's going to take for you to come back. They'll be able to give you to the penny exactly the amount of money that you need to pay. If you have not already done so online, most of you probably have. If you've not already given us the information you want on the deed to the property you buy today, there's a form in the book that you've got in your hands. It says deed information. Put the names and addresses of the parties you want listed on the deed to the property. Remember, if you're buying a piece of property with somebody else and they're not here and you don't know if their taxes are current or not, I wouldn't put their name on there without verifying with them that they don't have any delinquent taxes. Fill those forms out before you get in line. It keeps things running smoother than if you're trying to fill them out at the table. If you're buying something today with somebody else and you're not married to them, we need to know what happens to the title to that property if somebody dies. It's called tenancy. That's the legal official term for it. There's some listed options also in your sale book that give the various options as to what happens to the title to that property if one of the co-owners passes away. Michigan law requires us to get that information and put it on the deed if you're buying property today with somebody else and you're not married to them. When you leave here today, you're not leaving with the deed to the property. We haven't even prepared them yet. It's not like a car title. We don't sign it over and give it to you and you take it home and stick it in the safe. We have to create a new deed, and we don't do that until all the checks that we collect today have been, they've all cleared. Then we're going to create the deed. The treasurer is going to sign it. We take it to the Register of Deeds office, give it to them with your check for $30. They make a copy of the image. They put it in their files. They index it in their computer. They send it back to you. That's about 5 weeks, give or take. Could be more, could be a little bit less. So you're not going to be leaving here with the copy of the deed today. What you are going to be leaving here with today is a receipt. The receipt is a copy of your contract of purchase. They're going to ask you to initial it in several places and sign it at the bottom. Here's what you're agreeing to. First, they're going to ask you to look at it very closely, and if you brought somebody with you, have them look at it too. More eyes on these things, the better. Make sure that your name is spelled properly. If it's wrong on the receipt, it's going to be wrong on the deed. Same data creates both. Look at your name, address, even the zip code. Look at the list of properties that you bought today. Make sure they're correct. I enter every right here. When we sell them, I could hit a wrong button and you might get the wrong property. Make sure that that's correct. Look at the math too. Make sure that all the numbers all jive. So make sure that's all correct. You're going to be agreeing to the terms of sale, the rules and regulations, the things printed in the book, the things that we're talking about now. You're agreeing that you've had the opportunity to inspect the property. Even if you didn't go out there, you should have. You're agreeing we gave you the opportunity to look at it before you bought it. And you're agreeing that you are buying everything today as is. No guarantees at all. You get what you get. Here's another one. I just mentioned to you that you're not going to have the deed to the property for about 5 weeks. We have to let all the checks clear and we have to process everything and record the deeds, and then they get sent back to you. Under Michigan law, until you have received that deed, until it shows up in your mailbox, you're not the owner of the property. You're just a buyer. What you're kind of doing here today is just like making an offer on a piece of real estate, and the deal closes when you get the deed in your mailbox. So, with that in mind, we should tell you that you cannot enter these properties until you have the deed. That's going to be about 5 weeks. But we've been doing this an awful long time, and we know that we could tell you that 9 times in a row. We could make you sign that contract in blood, and we know that you're going to be inside by 5 o'clock tonight anyway. Right? Yeah. So, here's the deal. This is going to be included in your agreement today. We're not requiring you to take possession today, but if you want to, and most of you do, most of you are itching to get inside these things and look around. You've probably already been inside of them, from my experience. You're going to be indemnifying the county. We're going to give you possession prior to the deeding for 3 very specific purposes that you're agreeing to. Inspection, maintenance, security. If it's a vacant, unoccupied building, you can let yourself in, you can change the locks, you can look around, measure things, start checking out, see if the plumbing is frozen, take a look and see how much damage the roof leaks might have done. You can look around. You can't move in. You can't start remodeling or construction. Do not make any substantial changes to the property. Don't spend any money in there, because the law gives the treasurer the right up until the instant that deed hits your mailbox to cancel today's sale if we find out that it's necessary. Once in a great while, right after the sale, we find out somebody was protected by the bankruptcy court from way before it was foreclosed. If they filed yesterday, it doesn't mean anything. They don't own the property anymore. But if they were protected by a bankruptcy court before the foreclosure, we have to sell that sale because we don't have authority to sell it. Same thing if somebody was protected by a guardian and we weren't aware of it. It happens very seldom. We sell for almost 70 counties in the state of Michigan. We sell thousands of pieces every year. Most years we have to cancel nothing. But if we have to cancel your sale for some weird reason, what you're going to get back is what you paid today. If you disregard what I'm telling you, you don't wait for the deed, you run out next weekend and put a brand new roof on something, and somebody turns up and we have to cancel a sale, you just bought somebody else a brand new roof. So please do not make any major improvements. Don't move in until you have the deed, but you're allowed to go change the locks, you're allowed to look around, you're allowed to plan, make minor maintenance adjustments, all at your own expense. If we have to cancel the sale, you get back what you paid today. Yes?
When you get the deed in the mail, you own the property. How long does the previous owner in the building have to come?
We'll get to that in just a second here. He's asking about contents. This is the last thing that's part of your checkout. We told you earlier you can't bid on anything today if you have delinquent taxes in these counties. Legislature is very serious about this. So serious that they've created a criminal penalty for people that are trying to get around the rules, having their brother-in-law bid for them, things of that nature. If you are bidding on a piece of property today, when you go to check out, they're going to ask you to make a sworn statement. You're going to be telling them, and they're all notary publics, they're all witnesses of the state. They're going to be asking you very specifically, do you have any delinquent taxes? Do you have any unpaid civil fines? I forgot is not an excuse. You should know before you get back to that table if you do or if you don't. If you do have delinquent taxes, if you do have unpaid civil fines, and you tell us you don't, under oath with a notary public, a witness of the state, that's this little crime called perjury. It's just like lying to the judge. Perjury in Michigan is a felony. That always makes the room real quiet.
Just make sure my parking tickets don't count.
Parking tickets do not count.
All right, good. There's a few of them, so.
What about littering? You litter too?
I have no littering.
Speeding?
I pick up other people's cigarette butts for them.
Oh, he picks up cigarette butts. I don't think that's going to get you any extra. No brownie points for that. So just please, if you do have delinquent taxes, don't try to get around the system here. Just go buy your property somewhere else. We don't want to cause anybody any grief. This is the last page of your book. This is homework. You don't have to give this to us today, but you do have to fill it out. The last page is a state form. It's the Michigan Property Transfer Affidavit. You are going to send this to the assessor's office in the city, village, or township where the property is located, and you're going to tell the assessor, I bought a piece of property today, and I want you to send me the tax bills from now on. And here's how much I paid for the property, and you need to go reassess it and to tax it for its current value. So fill that out, send it in. There's a whole bunch of check boxes on the bottom half of that. None of those apply here today, so don't check them. There's one that says something about redeeming from a tax sale. You're not redeeming, you're buying at one. They're two different things. Fill out the top half. Don't check any of those check boxes at the bottom. Sign it, send it in to the assessor where the property is located. That's a city, village, or township assessor, not somebody at the county building. You've got 45 days to send it in. If you don't, they can fine you up to $200. Title insurance, we're not going to dwell on it for a long time. Title insurance, we can't guarantee you can get it. Generally, the rule is the longer you own a piece of property and the more passage of time there is and nobody else ever shows up and makes any kind of a claim on it, the easier it gets as time goes by to get that title insurance. It's all based on the quality of the notice. Did everybody sign for their certified mail? If they have died or moved away or didn't get their mail or refused to accept it, sometimes the insurance companies get a little wonky about that. Some local title insurance agencies will sell on these properties, some will not. If you have trouble getting it, we've got brochures in the back. The clerks have some brochures from some of the companies that are active in insuring tax sale property. Some companies won't touch this stuff at all. There are a couple there on the screen that are pretty active in it. You can write those down. You can get their flyer from the clerks back there. At the end of that list on that page, you'll see Peninsula Title. They're over Crystal Falls, over that way. Ontonagon, they are active in insuring title on tax-reverted property in this part of the state. Gordy sometimes comes to the sale. I don't see him here today. This is an important date. If you buy something today, you might hear from somebody that makes a claim against the property. Anything, any kind of a rattle you hear in the future from anybody that had anything to do with this property in the past, everything comes back to that date. We told you at the beginning of the sale they had until March 31st to pay. If they didn't, gone. Slate is wiped clean. You buy a piece of property today and the local building contractor shows up and starts pointing at that pretty new looking garage out behind the house and says, that guy never paid me for that garage. You owe me $15,000. No, you don't. Any claim that existed before that date, whether it was recorded or unrecorded, or whether it was a judgment or anything or nothing at all, it's gone. The court has wiped it away. By the same token, that's the date the treasurer got title to this property, and we're making it the effective date of your purchase today. Anything before April the 1st is history. It's toast. It's gone. You assume liability for anything that has occurred after that date, and there will be very few things. The summer taxes are going to be one of them. You're paying that today. There won't be any other back taxes on these properties at all. That's all included in the minimum bid, or it's being paid as part of the summer tax bill that you're paying today. What you might encounter, if anything, would be homeowner association fees if it's in one of those kinds of an area. If you buy something today that's a condominium unit, you are likely to incur some kind of an inquiry from the association about the old fees. They might ask you to pay somebody else's old condo fees from before April the 1st. It's not your obligation. We had a guy down Petoskey one time pay almost $10,000 in old condo fees that he did not owe. It's not your bill. Anything from before that date is gone. Anything after that bill, after that date, that is not included in the minimum bid, which does include everything that we know of, is going to be your responsibility. Once in a while, if you buy something on city water or city sewer, even if that is turned off, even if the water's turned off, sometimes they assess you a fee of a few dollars a month for just being connected to the system. If you run into that, your liability starts not a day before April the 1st. If you're buying something today and it's in a city or village that has a municipal water and sewer system, please write those numbers down at the top right-hand side of the screen, 7258. That is in a Michigan Attorney General opinion number. You can Google it, you can look it up, print it out, take it down to the water department after you go to get the water turned on, because sometimes you go down to City Hall to get the water turned on and they say, oh, yeah, we know that property. That guy didn't pay his taxes. He also didn't pay his water bill. And that plumbing froze 2 years ago and it ran all winter long, and we've got a $4,000 water bill, and unless you pay it, we won't turn it back on. The Attorney General says they can't do that. The city municipal utility charges for use are treated exactly the same as everything else. April the 1st. That was an unrecorded lien. It's gone. The Attorney General says that a municipal utility cannot make a tax sale purchaser pay somebody else's old bill, and they cannot refuse to turn the service on for you if you don't. Attorney General opinion 7258. You can Google it, look it up. Right there, you'll have all the ammunition you need. Most of the time, the municipal utilities already know this, but they're still going to try to see if they can coax you to pay somebody else's old bill anyway. You don't have to do it. Don't let them take that away from you. Possession. We talked about possession already. If the property is unoccupied, you get possession of it today, you are, as a part of your checkout agreement, you are indemnifying the county from injury, loss, or damage. If you go inside, you fall through the floor, you break your arm falling on the basement floor that's all concrete, you're releasing the county from liability for that. If you move some of your tools in before you get the deed and somebody comes in and helps themselves to them, you've released the county from any kind of liability for that as well. Injury, loss, or damage, you're waiving the county's liability for that if you take possession prior to the arrival of the deed. So we're giving you possession today, subject to the right of anybody that might already be there. Don't make any major improvements until you have the deed. But what happens if you buy something today and there's already somebody there? You drive by, there's lights on, there's cars in the driveway, there's people milling around, there's people living there. What do? Michigan has no such thing as a squatter. You can't just walk up to the door and order them out. In there, Michigan calls them an occupant, and you either have to evict them or come to some kind of an understanding. Some people use something called cash for keys. You offer them a few bucks to move on down the road, and they move out quicker, and usually you get the water heater still. But if there's somebody in a property, generally speaking, it's not going to be confrontational, especially if it's a renter or if it's a friend or relative or an acquaintance of the former owner. They usually know the jig is up. They've been living there, probably just paying utility bills. They know that this property is being sold today. Some of them may even be here today. They know it's being sold today because you guys have been peeking in the windows for the last 6 weeks, walking around, checking out the front porch. Most of the time the people are going to be okay. Once in a while you might run into somebody that's not. And we're urging you to be cautious. If you buy something today and it's occupied, don't just charge up to the front door and start barking at people. You might be that's not stable, that's emotionally very upset by all of what's going on. There's no telling what could happen. My advice to you is this: if you buy something today and it's occupied, if you don't already know what the situation there is, go find a neighbor. Every neighborhood has somebody in it that can tell you who lives in that house, whether it's the former owner, whether it's a renter. They can probably tell you where they work, what their phone number is, what their name is, who matches what car, so on and so forth. You can ask them whether that person is going to be able to be approached without having any drama. You don't want to just march up there if you don't know. Every neighborhood has somebody in it that knows everybody else's business. And if you don't think there's one like that in your neighborhood, I'll bet it's you. We're selling this one today. I think this is in Christmas, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep. Y'all see it driving the highway.
Yep.
What you are buying today and what you're not buying today, we are selling you a piece of land because that's what we taxed and that's what we have title to. We also have title to the improvements on that land that are physically attached to it, that were owned by the person that got notice and had an interest in that property. You're buying buildings, septic tanks, swimming pools, landscaping, things of that nature. You are not buying anything at that property that can be removed without the use of tools. You're not buying anything that, even if it's kind of sort of attached, belongs to somebody else. That piece of property has a little guest room. It looks like a nice big house. But his mother-in-law called one time and said, I'd like to come by and stay for a little bit, maybe 8 or 10 years. And he said, that's strange, we're all out of room right now. And she said, that's fine, I'll bring my own. I'll just add on. If you can't see that, that's a 1973 Ford Econoline van that's roofed over and it's got a skirting around it. It's even got a cover over the front windshield so she can sleep in on Saturday. But if you look real close, it's also got a license plate. Granny owns that van, not the guy that owns the house. We can't sell you that spare guest room even if you buy the house, because she can get right in there. She got the title in one hand, the keys in the other, stomp on the gas, and she's out of there right now. We don't own that. We do not own and cannot sell you furniture, fixtures, appliances, automobiles, boats, RVs, clothing, inventory, any kind of a leased item like a water softener. If it's on that property and somebody else owns it, it's not part of the sale today. Before you get rid of things that you find at properties, if you think they're of value, go talk to the neighbor, ask them who lived there last, where they went, whose boat is, how do I get in touch with them. Give them an opportunity to come and get it so you don't end up in court with them claiming that you threw away thousands of dollars worth of their stuff and they want you to be compensated for it. Find out where they are, who they are, send them a certified letter, send a copy by first class mail, say, I got all your stuff here, it's time for you to either claim it or I'm going to get rid of it. Give them an opportunity to come and get it. There is no rule of thumb on how long you have to give them. It's all situational. This also applies to mobile, modular, and manufactured housing units. We have seen modulars. In fact, we had one in Delta County a year or two ago. We have seen modular homes on concrete block foundations remove with a court order. If somebody owns a modular or manufactured or other type of structure on a piece of property and the title to that unit is other than the title to the land, and if they didn't get a notice of the proceedings, there's not a judge in the world that won't let them take it. So if you do something today, here's generally the rule. If it's ever had wheels under it, if it's ever had a separate title, it's probably included today. It's probably abandoned and just being left. But we do not warrant the title to those units because we can't always tell who owns them. We're almost ready to get started. It's just like riding a teeter-totter. We're going to open up at either that minimum bid in the book or a higher number if I already have one online. I'm going to find 2 bidders in the room that want to go back and forth like riding that teeter-totter right there until somebody slows way down or gets off, and then I'll put somebody else on. We'll go till we're down to 1 person in the room, and then I'm going to come and see if anybody over here online wants to keep on bidding. Couple of tips. Most of you are brand new at this. You don't want to make one of the rookie mistakes, and here's what they are. When you're done bidding today, you either won what you came for or you didn't get it. You got smoked. You're getting ready to leave, so you just get up and take off, and you leave your bidder card on your chair. Bad idea. The only thing more fun than spending money is spending somebody else's. You don't want to get a call about all those vacant lots you bought later on this afternoon. So take that card that you got and turn it in back where you got it. Protect it like you would a credit card in the meantime. If you have a cell phone with you, and just about everybody does, please put it on silent or vibrate. If you have a child with you, if you brought Granny with you today because you want to buy something, but she's the one with all the money, and you have to shout at her, or If your husband has the bid card and he exceeds the authority you've given him, and you need to have a discussion with him, please take it out in the hallway. If you need to make noise, please take it outside the room. We're trying to conduct business in here. It's a lot of people. It's easier for us to be able to see what's going on if we can communicate with people without a bunch of extra noise. If you make a mistake, you bid on the wrong piece, you bid the wrong amount, you thought it was $6,000 and it was $60,000, stop me right then. Don't wait for the sales to be over to fess up to something. I can still sell it if the other bidder is still in the room. If you have bid on something online and you came to the sale because you want to watch it and make sure it doesn't go past your online bid, and if it does, you want to resume bidding and maybe keep going a little bit further, if you're the only person bidding in the room and you're bidding against somebody online, you're bidding against yourself. Don't do it. Don't bid against yourself if you've already bid online. It's too much work to undo those. Please be considerate of everybody else in the room. We will be considerate of you as well. And when we say it's sold, it is sold. We don't reopen the bidding because you think I missed you. Everybody's got that red bid card. When you want to bid, get it in the air, make it obvious what you're doing. Don't wink, don't nod, don't tug on your ear. I can't tell if you got a twitch or if you're asking me out on a date or whether you're trying to bid. Use the red card. If you're warm today, use your white book to fan yourself. When everybody in the room starts fanning with that red card, I can't tell what's going on. So those are the rules. Anybody got any questions before we get going? Yes?
Most properties I've looked at have locks on the doors, deadbolts. The keys are no longer available? Or
we do not have keys to any of the properties.
Okay.
If you buy something, if most of the time, and I've seen every piece of property we're selling here today, personally. I've seen all the property in 32 counties this year. If you buy a piece of property and it had photos of the interior, most of the time we were able to get in without even breaking a lock. If we did, we changed one. The former owner is going to have the keys to all the other locks. So you're going to want to change every lock in the building. You can let yourself in. Any other questions? Yes?
I come over here to bid on a piece of property. When I got here, they told me it was no longer up for bid.
Sometimes things get removed the day of the sale, usually by the court. Which one was it? What county?
Dickinson County.
I know which one it is. It's 5 acres.
Correct.
That was removed. There was a lawsuit filed. Former owner had a demonstrated, proved case of dementia. He got his paper, he got his bills, and didn't know what he was doing. So that we dropped it from the sale because otherwise we and you and everybody was going to end up in court. And we would have lost. The judges don't take property from people with dementia. Any other questions? Yes?
You got 2 people bidding on a piece of property. What if the winner of that, they find out they have back taxes?
If we discover that a winner of a piece of property has unpaid taxes and should not have been bidding, his sale's going to get canceled, we're going to call the backup bidder. And we're going to send the paddy wagon after the guy that should have been bidding. There's a guy down in Ludington today, I'll bet he's sweating after he gets that phone call from the treasurer's office. Any other questions? Yes?
I know this one, but if there is occupants and you have to evict them, and because you are the owner, if they do damage to that property, it'd still be up to you to take the legal action.
If you buy, she's saying if I buy a piece of property, it's occupied, they damage the property on their way out the door, what's the situation? It is what it is. That's one of the downsides of buying occupied property. Yes?
You talked about if there's extra property, like somebody owns that property and we have to wait, what's the minimum amount of time we have to wait?
He's talking about personal property. How long do you have to give somebody to come and get it? It's all going to be situational. If you find a box full of baby pictures, maybe it isn't worth a whole bunch of money, but you think that they're going to want to have it, and they just live 2 blocks away, you give them 48 hours. You could send it to them in the mail. If you buy a whole house full of brand new furniture, somebody died and their heirs live in Iowa, they're going to need a little more time. You just want to seem to be the reasonable person. You want to seem like you gave them ample time. You tried to make contact. If you find something that you know is worth a bunch of money and you can't find who it belongs to, maybe you know their name but you can't find them or they won't call you back. Let's say that you buy something and you open up that garage and there's 2 brand new Harley Davidsons in there. and you're nervous about what to do with them, take them down to the self-storage unit, put them in there, put a padlock on it, send it to them in the mail. You're off the hook. We've had that done a couple times, and have it billed to them. And if they don't pay that bill, then that guy has the legal right to sell that stuff off. You don't have any title to it at all. Any other questions? Yes?
Auction done before the bank closes?
Auction will be done before the bank closes. Absolutely. We're just about ready to get started. Yes?
If the property is occupied, do you have to wait until you receive the deed in order to start the eviction process?
No. I would, by the time you even get into court, you will have the deed. Because if you go to evict somebody that's in a property, first you have to serve them, and then they're going to give them 30 days. And then once you get to court, the judge is going to give another 30. It's going to be snowing by the time you get possession of a property with somebody, although that could be next week here, couldn't it? Any other questions before we get going? Yes?
So if you pay $10,000 on something, you have to figure $1,000 is the 10%.
You're going to be paying $11.30 plus the summer tax.
Yes, okay.
Any other questions? Let's get going. We're going to sell 8 pieces. 1, 2, 8 of them. And I'll tell you what they are. If you are here to bid on one of these 8 pieces, you're going to be out of here pretty quick. You might not like the price, but you'll at least not have to listen to my jokes the rest of the afternoon. We don't have any on the list in Alger that are going to be moved up front. In Delta, we're going to sell 1907 and 1915. 1907, 1915. In Dickinson, we're going to move 2 to the front of the list. They are number 2008 and 2026. In Marquette County, we're moving 3 to the front of the list. They're 4003, 4009, 4010. And in Delta, nope, is it Delta? Nope, in Schoolcraft, we're going to move 5902 to the beginning of the list. Those 8 pieces of property have a lot of interest, a lot of people here in the room, a lot of interest online. Rather than making most of the room wait all day to sell something, especially if it's at the end of the book, we're going to move those pieces up front. So those are going to get sold first, then we're going to go back to the beginning of the book and sell them in order, skipping the pieces nobody wants. I'll read those numbers one more time. 1907, 1915, 2008, 2026, 4003, 4009, 4010, and 5902. Those are going to get sold first, then we're going to go back to the beginning of the book. I might, if I'm going through the list and I see something else that has a big number of bidders on it, I might throw another 1 or 2 in there, but not likely. We're going to start with number 1907. Let me refresh my stuff. As soon as we sell something, you can immediately go check out. We put it in the computer here, and the data is automatically transmitted to the clerks. 1907. Delta County. This is 80 acres. It's a farm property. The back 40 is wet. We'll call it that. The front is mostly open. If you've been out to the property, about where that tree line is about where it starts getting wet. The rest of it, to me, looks like it's tillable land. There's an old barn on the property. It's pretty rough. There's a mobile home on the property. It's even rougher. My minimum bid in that book is $6,800, but you're not buying it for that today. I've got 7 bids online, 9 bidders in the room, and with online bidders, I'm at $32,250. Here's a little game we play. How many people in this room would give me $32,500? How many? A few? Here's a little game we've got. It's called the card game. Rather than go $100 at a time, we're going to do it this way. If you'll give me $32,500, put your card in the air and keep it there until I say a number that you just don't think is reasonable and you won't pay. 34, 35, 38,000, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45,000, 46, 47, 48, 49, $50,000. I'm starting with you right there at 50,000. Didn't that just save us a bunch of time? I'm at 50,000 right there. Who in the room wants to give me 50 and a quarter? I've still got bids online in excess of this. 50 and a quarter back there. Going to give me 50 and a half? How about 51? Got 50 and a half with you. Anybody in the room want to give me 50,750? I've got a bid online that's in excess of what you're at right now. So I'm going to go online and take 51,000. You're going to give me 52? 52. They can only go up 250 at a time online. 52 and a quarter. How about 53? 53 and a quarter. 54? 54 and a quarter. 55? 55 and a quarter. 56? 56 and a quarter. 57,000. 57 and a quarter. 58? 58 and a quarter. 59? 59 250. $60,000 in the room. What about online? That exhausts my bid from before the sale. People are watching on that camera. If they want to bid 60 and a quarter, they can. I've got 60,000 in the room right there with you. We've got it online. Somebody watching that camera just bid 60 and a half. Now 60,750. 60 and a half in the room. Going once. Going twice. You bought it. 60 and a half, number 787. My backup bidder is online. Here's how it works. He just won that property for $60,500. He's on his way out to the parking lot to get his checkbook, and he gets run over by a bus full of nuns that are late for the sale. They're in an awful big hurry. He can't pay. He's up in the emergency room. We're going to contact the backup bidder and offer it to them for one bid increment below the final sale price. That was an online bidder. We'd offer it to them for $60,250. It is not negotiable. Don't even go there. So that's how this all works. You've discovered by now that I am not an auctioneer. I do not do the yabba dabba doo. I'm going to be pointing at who is the winning. If it's online, I'm pointing over there. Now we're going to go to number 1915. Also in Delta County. It's out on M Road, M Street, almost 5 acres. It's got a mobile on it. Ah, yes, very clean. Most of the ones that we sell have got baby diapers and garbage and you name it from wall to wall. Some of them you can't even hardly get into. This one's empty. It looks like they vacuumed when they left. We don't see many in that kind of condition as far as cleanliness. I've got a, where am I at online? I'm already basically at 5,000. Who in the room wants to give me $5,500 for it? All over the place. Let's play that card game again. 5,500, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, 10, 11, 12,000, 13, 14, 15, 16,000, 17, 18, 19, $20,000, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25,000, 26, 27, 28, 29, $30,000, 31. I'm going to start with you at 31. Who wants to give me 31 and a quarter? Anybody, anywhere? 31 and a quarter, 31 and a half? How about 32? 31,750. That's as low as I can go. 32. 32 and a quarter. 32 and a quarter. I've got 32,000 over here going once. Twice. 32 and a quarter, 32 and a half. Now 32,750. I've got it behind you. 32,750 and now 33,000. 33 and a quarter. Either one of you. 33 over here. Going once. Twice. 33 and a quarter, 33.5. 33,750. Don't talk to him, talk to me. I've got 33,750, now 34,000. 34 and a quarter. 34.5. Almost 5 acres out there. 34,750. 35,000. 35 and a quarter. 35 and a quarter, he's back in now. 35.5. He said he's done. I've got you at 35 and a quarter. Anybody else here at 35.5? Behind you, 35,750. 35,750? They're talking. 35,750, he's back in. Now either of you at 36. Anybody in the room over there at 36? 35,50, 36,000, 36 and a quarter, 36 and a half. 36, they're having a big family conference. 36 and a half, 36,750. Now he said he's done again. I'm at 36.5 with the lady right there. Anybody in the room at 36,750? 36.5, going once, twice. You bought it, 36.5. What's your bidder number? Bidder number, please. 36.5, 727. That was 727, correct? Right. My backup bidder over here is 743. All righty then. Now we're going to go down to number 2008. Dickinson County, first year we've sold for Dickinson. Reminder that if you're buying something in Dickinson County, the summer tax amount is just incrementally larger than what it says in the book for most of them. If you really need to know to the penny what that is, you can check with the clerks. They've got the list. For most of them, it's $1 or $2. Number 2008 is where we're going. Off the County Camp Road. I didn't even get all the way into this one. Not for lack of trying. The roads were all washed out, really ruddy out there this spring, if you know the area. It's camp. It is deer camp. It's about 3.5 acres out there Channing Way. I've already got $2,300 with online bidders. Who wants to give me $3,000? $3,000. You want to give me $3,500? How about $4,000? $4,500? How about $5,000? $55,000. $6,000. $5,600 is as low as I can go. I've got you on at $55,000. You're going to give me 6 in the back, so I got 6 way back there. How about 6.5? $61,000. I've got $6,000 in the back of the room standing up. Anybody in the room want to give me $6,100? $61,000. $62,000. $63,000. $6,300. $64,000. $65,000. I need $65,000. I got $64,000 in the back of the room standing up. $6,400 going once, twice. You bought it way in the back, $6,400, number 475. My backup bidder, what's his number? Backup bidder, what's your number? The backup bidder card is 7274. Now, number 2026. 2026. I've got 4 bids online and about a half dozen bidders in the room for this one in Norway. Kind of an odd spot. This one sits on a road, a street that almost seems more like an alley. And it's kind of a little bit confusing as to what buildings are or aren't on the property. There's a nice large steel barn to the side, not part of it, but it's got 2 or maybe 3 small outbuildings that are. Guy next door had some really fabulous stories to spin about this one. I think he was trying to keep anybody else from bidding. So if you talk to him, take that all with a grain of salt. Number 2026, I am already online at a $3,200 bid. Who wants to give me $3,500? Anybody in the room at 35? Who wants to give me $3,300? This would make a great place for your mother-in-law. 3,300 right there. 34, 3,500, 36, 37, 38. Anybody in back at 38? I've got 37 with the lady right down front. I've got 37, 38, now 39. I've got $3,800 with the gentleman back there. Anybody want to give me $3,900? 39 online, now 4,000. 4,000. I've got $3,900 with an online bidder. Don't know that one, not a regular. $3,900 online, 4,000 right there. Now 4,100. 42. 43. It's a live bidder online. 44. $4,300 online. Going once. Now I get cards all over the room. 44. You want to give me 45? Now 46. Price doesn't go down if you wait till the end to bid. And it doesn't cost you a penny unless you win. I've got $4,500 in the back row. Anybody want to give me 46? You back in at 46? 40, 46, 47. 47, now 4,800. 49. 4,900. I've got 48 with the gentleman in the blue shirt right in the middle of the room going once. 49 online. Now either of you at 5,000. Anybody back there at 5,000? 51. 52. $5,100 with an online bidder. Going once. Twice. Sold it online, $5,100. My backup bidder there in the room, what's your number? Number 687. In Marquette, we're going to sell 3 at the beginning of the sale before we go back through the book, starting with number 4,003. Out Gwyn Way. Cute little spot. I don't think this one's all very old. I think this is pretty much modern construction. Looks to me like there was freeze damage, and it might have run for a little bit. The floors were a little whacked out in one small area. Great little place, though. I have already got 5 bids online on this one out on County Road 557. I'm already at $6,000 or so. Who wants to give me 7? If you'll give me $7,000 for this, put your card in here and hold it up. 7, 8, 9, 10,000, 11. I'm going to start with you at $11,000 right there. Who wants to give me 11 1/4? Anybody in the room at 11,250? What about online? I've got 11,250 in advance of the sale. Now 11,500. 11,500. Anybody in the room want to give me 11,750? 11,750. And now 12,000. 12 1/4. 12 1/2. 12,750. And now 13 1/4. 13,500. 13,750. 14,000. How about 14,500? What about 15,000? 15,500. 16,000. 16,500. 16 1/4. That's as low as I can go. I've got you on at 16,000. Anybody in the room at 16 1/4? I saw a card over here a second ago. I've got 16,000 right there sitting down going once. 16 1/4. 16 1/2. It's only money. I've got 16 1/4 right there with you. Anybody at 16,500? 16,500. New bidder. Now 16,750. 17,000. 17 1/4, 17 1/2, 17 1/2, 17 1/4 with you. Anybody in the room at 17,500? 17 1/4 going once. New bidder at 17,500, 17,750, and now 18,000. I've got you on at 17,750. Anybody at 18? 17,750 going once. Twice. You bought it 17,750. 172. My backup bidder right behind him. What's their number? Backup bidder is 244. 4009 and 4010 are next. These are both in the city of Marquette. They're both occupied. Both of the occupants are well aware of what's going on here today. They may even be here. 4009 we're selling first. It's on Fair Avenue. This is occupied by a relative of the former owner. I think you're going to want to change the color. Maybe. Although there are advantages to being the only person that lives on a pink house on that street. Nobody will miss it. 4009. I've got 7 bids online. More than a dozen people here in the room today to bid on this one. My minimum bid in that book says 11.5. My online bidding is already at 40.5, and it's just going nuts. Let's play that card game again. Who wants to get me 45,000? Put your card in the air and keep it there. 50,000. 55,000. 60,000. 65,000. 70,000. I'm going to start with you at 70. Anybody want to give me 70.25? I don't have that bid in line in advance, but we'll see if we get it from a live bidder. 70.5. 71.5. 72.5. 73.5. 74.5. 75.5. 76.25. I've got 76,000 right over here. Anybody in the room want to give me 76.25? Anybody anywhere? What about online? 76.25. Don't know them. 76.5. 76,750. 77.25. You want to go to 78.25? What about 79.25? 80,000.25. 81.25. 82.25. 83.25. 84.25. 85,000.25. 86.25. 87.25. 88.25. 89.25. 90,000.25. 91. 90,500. 90,750. 91.25. 91.5. 91,750. 92.25. 92.5. 92,750. 93.25. 93.5. 93,750. 94.25. 94.5. 94,750. 95,000. 95.25. 95.5. 95,750. 96,000. 96.25. 96.5. 96,750. 97,000. 97.25. 97.5. 97,750. 98,000. 98.25. 98.5. 98,750. 99,000. 99.25. 99.5. 99,750. 100,000. 100.25. 100.5. I'm at 100.25 with an online bidder. What about you guys? Want to bid? You can put all in together. I'll give you time to get all your beer cans put together. I don't think $1.25 is going to get you far. 100.5. I've got $100,250 online. Anybody in the room at 100.5. $100,500. Going once, twice, he's back. Now 100, 750. 100 and a half in the room, 100, 750 online, 101. He's thinking. I can imagine why. Anybody want to give me 101? Going once. 101 and a quarter. 101 and a half. $101 and a quarter online. Anybody in the room at 1015? Going once. He's back in again. 101 750. 102. Guy on line's bidding real fast. You know what that tells me? He's single. I've got 101 750 online. 102. He said he's done. I've got 101 750 online. Anybody in the room want to give me 102? 101 750 going once. Twice. Sold that one online at 101 750. My backup bidder number is 460. I think there's a lot of $11,500 cashier's checks headed back to the bank this afternoon. Sorry, we're not here to give them to you, we're here to sell them to you. Number 4010, just up the street a ways to the left on Werner Street. This one is occupied as well. Current occupant of the property is living there, to our knowledge, without some utility service. My minimum bid says $7,200. I've got 4 online bids in advance, a number of live online bidders, 10 bidders in the room here for this one today. It's already at $34,000, 34 and a quarter. Let's play that card game again. If you're here to bid on this, you'll give me $35,000. Put your card in the air and keep it there. $35,000. How about 40? 45. $50,000. 55. I've got you. I'm going to start with you back. $1,000. Who wants to give me 51? Anybody in the room at 51,000? I've got $50,000 in the room right there. What about 50 and a quarter online? I've got $50,000 right there. Going to give me 51? How about 52? 53? 54? 55? I've got 54 with the man in the hat. Anybody want to give me 55? Oh, all I can see is the hat. Sorry about that. 55 over here. 56. At least you didn't bring your horse with you. 57. 58,000. 59. 60,000. 60 and a half. 60 and a quarter. I've got 60,000 right there with the lady in the hat. Anybody want to give me 60 and a quarter? Anybody anywhere? 60,000 right there going once. 60 and a quarter online. 60 and a half. 60,750. 60 and a half in the room right there going once. Twice. You bought it 60 and a half. What's your bidder number? 60 and a half, 521. My backup bidder is online. Schoolcraft County. We're going to sell 5902, and then we'll go back to the beginning of the book and sell them in the order there, Skip, and the ones nobody's here to bid on. Number 5902 is a 40-acre piece just outside of Manistee.
Nice area.
There are things you see listed in the book, and then sometimes there are things that we don't tell you about a piece of property. This particular piece of property out there, that 40-acre piece in Schoolcraft County, I didn't put it in the book, but when I was out there looking at that piece of property, I saw a 412-point buck. I think you should buy it. He says I should buy what you're drinking. 5902, I've got 13 bids online for this one, and a few people here in the room. I'm already at 15.5 online. Who wants to give me 16,000 for this one? Anybody in the room at 16,000? I've got 16 right there. Anybody and a quarter? I've got that online already. 16 and a quarter. Gonna give you 17. 17 and a quarter. How about 18 and a quarter? 19,000 and a quarter. 20,000 and a quarter. I'm at $20,000 with a bidder right there in the room. Anybody else here want to give me $20,250? It's 40 acres with a 412-point buck. I've got 20,000. It might be gone by now. Going once. 20 and a quarter online with a live bidder. Now 20 and a half. 20,750. 21,000. 21 and a quarter. 21 and a half. 21,750. 22,000. 22 and a quarter. 22.5. 22,750. 23 and a quarter. 23 and a half. 23,750. Now 24,000. 24 and a quarter. 24 and a half. 24,750. Now 25,000. 25 and a quarter. 25 and a half. 25,750. 26,000. 26 and a quarter. 26 in the room. Going once. Twice. You bought it. 26,898. I was just kidding about that buck, by the way. I know it's real believable, but $399 point? I haven't seen one of those. No, I'm sure I haven't. Back to the beginning of the book. We're going to sell them in the order that they're listed in the book. We're going to skip the ones nobody has expressed any interest in after we ask if anybody is here to bid on them. Should go fairly quickly. Number 200. I've got it circled in my book. One bidder said they were here for this one on M28. You don't have much land here outside of the highway right away. Great place for a billboard. Who wants to give me $400 for it? Probably the person that owns property next door. I've got $400 right there from the neighbor. Anybody want to give me $450? $400 going once, twice. $724 at the minimum bid. Is anybody in the room to bid for 201? It does not have any road frontage or access. You have to go through the neighbor's property to even get to it, unless you've got a helicopter. And let's go by that one and go to 202. 202 is circled in my book, M94 Shingleton Way. This is kind of part of what's left of a house. That front side looks a whole lot better than the back side. It's shot. Somebody wants to buy it though. They're going to give me $1,400 for it. That's probably a neighbor too, right next door, I'll bet. Tired of looking at it, wants to knock it down. Maybe he wants to move his mother-in-law in. I've got $1,400 going once, twice. That problem is now yours. Number 519. Also be a great place for those teenagers. They already know everything. Move them right on in and let them figure out how to try heating that thing. 204 Cedar Street in Wetmore. This one is a teeny tiny one that sits way low to the ground. It's seen better days. It's still chock full of goodies too. We didn't bother going inside. You can pretty much see all of it. This almost looks like that one we showed you earlier today, doesn't it? It's in a little bit better shape. Not much, a little bit. Nice corner lot. I'm gonna bet the neighbors are here to buy this one and make it into a bonfire this weekend. They already probably been mowing the grass for the last 10 years anyway. 204, who wants to give me $700 for it? Neighbors? $700, there's the neighbors buying that one. Anybody want to give me $750? $750 in the back. You have competition for that little gem right there. $800, now $850. $900, $950. $1,000, now $1,100, and $1,200, now $1,300, $1,400, $1,500, $1,600, $1,700, $1,800, $1,900, and $2,000. 21, I've got you on at $2,000. Anybody in the room want to give me $2,100? $2,000 going once, twice, $2,000. What's the bidder number? 767. My backup bidder in the back of the room, what's your number? Backup bidder is 640. On the next one, we are at number 205 on Varnum Street. This is right in Munising. Somebody has done some work here. They never quite got around to finishing it. I've already got the opening bid online at $5,200. It's even got the blue tarp to patch up your roof with. Anybody want to give me 53? Anybody in the room here for this one? 53 right there. Anybody in the room at 54? Look at all the extra chairs we got in here now. 54 online. Now 55, 5,600, 57, 5,800, 59, and now 6,000, 6,100, 62, 63, 64, 6,500, 66, 67, 68, 69, and $7,000, 7,100, 7,200, now 73, 73. What about 74? I've got $7,300 in the room. Going once, twice. That one's yours. 7,300, 748. My backup bidder is online. That is all for Elgin County. If somebody just has to have that number 201, if they don't want to go home without it, wait around till the end of the sale. Anything that we don't sell is available at or above the minimum bid, at or above, not below. Once the sale's done, you can come by and snipe whatever's left if you want to. In Delta County, we're going to start with number 1900. It's in the village of Perkins. It's waterfront. This actually is appears to be a fairly modern house, but if you get inside of it, it's actually a very, very old one-story log cabin that they built around. $1,700 I've already got online. $1,800 I've got online. Anybody in the room want to give me 19? Anybody at $1,900? 18 online, going once. 19 online. How about 2,000 in the back of the room? I got 2,000 back there. Anybody online at 21? Now 22. I've got $2,100 with an online bidder. 22 with an online bidder. We'll let them go here just a second. I've got at least 3 live bids watching that camera right now. They're going to run this up just a little bit. When they're done, we'll let you know what the price is in case you want to get back in on the bidding. It's at $3,000 right now, just rolled over. We'll give them a second to get done. We'll let you know when they are. It's approaching 4,000 and still going. $4,200 and not slowing down. Maybe it has now. It's at $4,300 with an online bidder. Anybody in the room want to give me 44? 43 going once, twice. Sold it online, $4,300. Backup bidder is also online. Anybody in the room here to bid on 1901 today? This is a frequent flyer. I think we've sold this piece about 9,500 million times. We get those. Sometimes they should just, I don't know, give them to Canada. Anybody here to bid on 1902? Teeny tiny little piece of land. 1903, I've got 3 bidders online already in advance for that one. It's a square acre, about 5 miles south of Garden Village. Nice little spot. I am already at $1,100 online out on the Garden Peninsula. I've got $1,200 right there. Anybody in the room want to give me 13? I've got 13 online. 14, now 15. 1,600. I've got 16 in the room. Anybody live online or in the room want to give me 17? 17 online. Now 18. $1,900. Now 2,000. 2,100. 22. 2,300. 24. 2,500. 24 in the room. Going once. Twice. You bought it, $2,400, $599. My backup bidder on that one is online. $1904, I've got an online bid for, about 1/3 of an acre. The road isn't where it's supposed to be. Where the road is supposed to be is closer to about where that pine tree is right there. This one is in pretty tough shape. There was some conversation from the property owner across the street saying that where the road is on private property and you can't get to it, and so I assume he's here today to bid on it. That's usually what happens. I've got a $1,300 bid already online. Anybody want to give me 14? I've got 1,400 right there. Anybody in the room at 15? I've got 15 online. 16, 17, 18, 19, 2,000, 2,100. You want to give me 2,500? 25, now 26. They can only go up $100 on. How about 3,000? 31, 3,500, 36, 4,000, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. I've got $4,400 in the room. Anybody want to give me 4,500? 44 going once, twice. 4,400, 459. Backup bidder is online. Number 1905. On the quarter road, 1 square acre out in the boonies. This one is kind of strange because everything around it is real wet. And this one, you could actually pull a camper in there and not get stuck. So that's its redeeming quality. Off on a little kind of a side road off the highway there. I've got $950 already bid online. It's even got a mailbox. I don't know how that got out there. I wouldn't think the post office would come down a road like that. Anybody want to give me $1,000 in the room? I got 1,000 right there. I need 11 online. 12, 13, 14, 15, now $1,600. 17. I've got 1,600 with the lady right there. Anybody want to give me 17? 16 going once. 17 online. 1,800, now 19. 18 in the room going once, twice. $1,800, $769. Backup bidder is online.
Way to go, Mark.
Number 1906 on the Osier Road. There are a number of, we will call them structures on this. Most of them are kind of trailers or modular types of things. I don't think any of them have actually been occupied on this property. It looks like somebody just parked them there. That being said, remember what we said. We don't have title to them. We can't include them, but I'll bet ain't nobody coming to get them either. Just a hunch. This is, I want to say 10 acres, just about 10 acres. Mostly open, a little bit on the damp side, but I wouldn't call it wetlands. I'm at $4,100, $4,500 online. Who wants to give me $5,000 for it? Anybody in the room? Anybody want to give me $4,600? I've got 46 online. 47, 48, 49, 5,000, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56. I've got 56, live bidder, 57, 58, $5,700 in the room, 58 online, 5,900, and now 6,000. 61, 62, 63, 64, $6,300, 64 now, 65, and 6,600. 67, 6,800. 67 going once, 68 online, 69, $7,000. 71, 72, 70, 73. I've got $7,200 with an online bidder. Anybody want to give me $7,300? You bid or scratch it. $7,300. Now 74. It's hard to tell sometimes. Get somebody in the front row of the Twitch, you can upset your whole auction. 74, now 75. 76. 77. 7,800. 79. $8,000. Now 8,100. He said he's all done. You know they struck oil out there last week. Did you hear about that? I've got $8,000 with an online bidder. Anybody in the room want to give me $8,100? 8,000 online. Going once. Twice. $8,000 online. What's the backup bidder number before you take off? Backup bidder is $265. Sold it online for $8,000. We already sold 1907. Let's go to 1909 on Cleveland Street in Rapid River. We couldn't get into this one. Well, at least the main floor. It's locked with a skeleton key.
Yeah. Nobody's been there in a while.
And I've got a whole ring of about 80 of them. Because there are still places, especially up in this neck of the woods, where people still use skeleton keys. None of the ones on my ring would open this building up. The upstairs you can get into, it doesn't have a back door. It's got a back stairway and you can walk right on in. There are several dead cats and raccoons up there that'll testify to that. But the main floor, it's like a box of chocolates. Somebody has been in touch with the treasurer's office. They are coming to get in stuff that's around. There's a car in the garage. That's going bye-bye too. So you're buying the structure here and not the contents. Keep that in mind. It's already spoken for. They're coming to load the gold up pretty soon. 1909. I need $7,100 for it. Where's the bidder for that one? Anybody here at $7,100? Somebody wanted it circled. Going once. Twice. No sale. All that talking and it didn't work. They were after the car, huh? I doubt it. Not for $7,100. Anybody in the room for number 1910? If nobody wants it, we won't open it up. Sale goes quicker that way. On the next page, I've got an online bid for number 11. We will open that one up. It's on the T6 lane. This looked really promising when we pulled up in the driveway, and when we walked inside, all of the floors were destroyed. Mobiles, modulars, and such do not take moisture very well. Plumbing frozen here, soaked the whole floor, the whole thing just warped and delaminated. It's almost, I would call it almost dangerous inside there. That's what happens. We see these all the time. Frozen plumbing into mobile homes do not mix. I've got a $4,700 line bid online already. The lot, the well, and the septic are worth more than that, and there's a garage too. Who wants to give me $4,800? I've got $4,800 over there. Anybody in the room want to give me $49? $48 in the room, right there going once. Going twice. You bought it, $4,800. What's the bidder number? 4,800, 571. Backup bidder is online. That one does come, by the way, complete with food garbage. It's a little ripe. It's August now. Hold your nose. Number 1912 on the Double L Road. Didn't have a way to get into this one. Deer Camp. Walk on in. $650 is what I'm looking for. I've already got it online. Anybody want to give me 700? Anybody in the room at 700? I've got 650 online going once. Twice. Sold that one the electronic way. Anybody in the room for number 1914 on River GG Street in Nema? Anybody here for this one? If not, we're going to go right on by it. It's got all kinds of satellite TV dishes on it. You could talk to the aliens. New hobby. Number 1915, we already sold that one, so we'll skip it. Go on by to number, anybody in the room to bid on 1916? Anybody here for that one today? Number 1917, I have 3 online bids all ready for this one. In Garden, older 3-bedroom, large outbuilding / storage barn / garage out back. It's a little decor challenged, but appears to be generally straight. Not a bad property. I've got 3 online bids. I'm already at $4,100 online. Anybody in the room want to give me 42? Anybody anywhere? I've got $4,100 online. 42 online. We'll let them run with it for just a second. I've got 3 advanced bids that topped out at $4,100. I now have a live bidder on camera bidding against the online bid. We'll see how high they want to go. They're at $4,800, 49 headed for $5,000. We'll see how long they want to arm wrestle over this one. $5,700, and it's still going. Looks like 3 bidders online. 1 is an advanced bid, the other 2 are live bidders. $6,700. And they're still bidding. We're north of 7,300 now. $7,500. Are they done? They might be. Anybody in the room want to give me 76? They're not done yet. I'm looking for 8,000. Anybody in the room want to give me 8,000 for that one? 7,900 going once. Twice. Sold it for $7,900. Online, the backup bidder is also online. Number 1919 has a few people interested in it. We got some information the other day from the city that said that this is a legally non-conforming duplex. It's been a duplex since at least 1958. Therefore, it precedes the zoning and can stay even though the neighborhood is not zoned for duplex. Inside looks better than the outside. It's not a bad house at all. The upstairs apartment probably has not been used in a long time, except maybe by a relative. You enter the house, let me see, if you go up the stairs into the second floor apartment, I think you enter in the bathroom. It's a little strange, the way that it's laid out. 1919. I need $4,600 for it. How many people in the room want to give me $4,600 for it? Wasn't from what I can tell on my list right here.
7,000.
7. Hold your card up and take it down when I'm done with numbers you don't like. 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, 10, 11,000, 12, $13,000. I've got 13 starting with you. Anybody in the room want to give me 13 and a quarter? 13 and a quarter, 13 and a half. How about 14 and a half? 15 and a half. 16 and a half. 17,000. You want to give me 16,750? 16,750 right there. Now 17 and a half. 18 and a half. 19,000 and a half. Now 20. 19,750 is as low as I can go. I'm at 19,500 with you. Anybody in the room at 19,750? 19,500 going once, twice. Yep. 19,750 online, and now $20,000. 20 and a quarter. Yep. 20 and a half. Now 20,750. 20 and a half. Yep. 20,750. 21,000. 21 and a quarter. 21,000 going once, twice. That's yours. 21,000, number 380. Backup bidder is online. Anybody in the room for number 1920? What about 1921? If you can't live without them, you come up, see us after the sale. We'll open them back up if you're interested in anything we've gone by. Dickinson County, as I mentioned a couple times, there are minor changes to that summer tax amount. If you need to know what that is, check with the clerks back there. They've got a copy of the list. They're pretty insignificant. Couple, $2, $3, maybe on some of the larger ones in there. Could be more on something if the tax amount seems very large. Anybody in the room for number 2,000 on my list today? It's a railroad right away. Anybody want to go choo-choo? 2001 has been removed from the list. Is anybody in the room here to bid on 2002? Do I have a bidder for 2002 today? Let's go down to 2003. Number 2003, 66 feet by 278, crosses over the river, has a bridge on it. No, you cannot set up a toll booth there and charge people to get across. You can't do that. The judge doesn't like when people try that. I need $450 for it. I've got it online. Anybody want to give me 5? 5 in the back of the room. Now I need 5.5. $500 in the back of the room. Going once, twice, $500, $442. My backup bidder is online. I can now tell people that I just sold somebody a bridge today. The other day we sold somebody a dam. I told him that he could now go to somebody and tell them that he gave them a dam. And I hope he didn't have any damn problems over it. Anybody in the room here today for 2004? Vulcan Way. 2006 is where we're going next. M95 Segola. Let me try to oh, this is a nice piece of property. Nicer than if you can get that grass all mowed, clean that all up, that's going to not be a bad place. That barn right there is worth way more than the minimum bid. I am already at $3,100 for this one. Nice little camp property. My understanding is that there was a family disagree and nobody paid the taxes on it. That's maybe what happened out here. 2006, $3,100. Anybody in the room want to give me 32? 32. You want to give me 3,500? How about 4,000? 4,500? How about 5,000? 5,500? How about 6? 6.5? 7. 7.5? 8,000. I'll get to you. 8.5? 9,000. 9.5? 10,000. 10.5? 11,000. I've got 10.5 with you. You still like me back here at 11? 11.5. Don't look at him, look at me. 11.5? 11.5. How about 12 and a quarter? 12 and a quarter. Family conference. 12 and a quarter, 12.5. 12,750. Now 13. I got cards all over the room on this. Let's play the card game again. I've got you on right now at 13. How many people in this room will give me 14,000 for it? Hold your card up and keep it there. I've got it. 1, 2, 3 of you. 15,000, 16,000, 17, 18. I'm going to start with you in the back at 18,000. 18 back there. Who wants to give me 18 and a quarter? Who wants to keep dancing? 18 and a quarter? 18 and a quarter. I've got 18,000 right back there going once. 18,000 going twice. You bought it 18,288. My backup bidder, right there. What was your number? I'll take you as the backup bidder. Who wants to be the backup bidder? I'll take 159 and 274, both as backup bidders. Anybody in the room for number 2007 today? I didn't think so. 2008 we already sold. Let's go down to 2009 on the Bell Avenue. Channing Way, 50-foot parcel, 142 feet deep, in between a couple of houses right there. They can buy that and they could put in a brand new swimming pool. I need $500 for it. Where's my, right there, I got it. You live next door, don't you? You gonna put in a swimming pool? No. I've got $500 right here. Anybody want to give me $550? $5 from the guy next door going once, twice. That's yours. $3.98. You can go cut that grass this afternoon. Make you feel all good. On the next page, I'm sorry to tell you I have nothing circled on that whole page. Is anybody in the room to buy number 2010? What about 2011? What about 2012? What about 2013? Anybody for any of those ones on that page? Sometimes we have those little streaks. On the next page, number 2014, I've got a bid on this. We could not be more delighted. It's an old mine shaft. I ain't lying. 2014. I know the lady across the street said she wanted to bid on this. Did she come in today to bid? We'll see. This is about 10.5 acres. And it is, trying to remember the name of the mine. I knew it at one point. It's not in there. I've already got 5,100. That great right there. You could open that up and you could, if your kids won't eat their peas, take them out there and show them that grate and they will start eating them. I've got $5,100 with an online bidder. Anybody in the room want to give me $5,200? Anybody at $5,200, you can go into the mining business. We've got it online, 52. They're going at it. We're going to let them bid this up for just a second. We'll see where they want to go. That might be it. I'm at $5,300. Anybody in the room want to give me 54? 53 going once, twice. Lady across the street's going to be mad. She didn't get to buy it. $5,300 unless that's her. $5,300 online. Backup bidders online. Dickinson County thanks you for buying that mine shaft. Anybody here for 2015 on Tower Drive? Anybody here for that one today? Not seeing any. Anybody here today for 2016 or 2019 on the next page? Either one of those two. On the next page, number 2020 is a large unfinished condominium development project. Any builders here want to put up 16 duplexes? That's what we're looking for. It's all being sold as a bundle with some conditions on it. Anybody here for number 2020 today? 220. Any developers out there? Doesn't look like it. 2021 on Birch Street, Kingsford. Anybody? This one had a great picture. It looked like the kitchen had AstroTurf on the floor. It was not AstroTurf, it was grass. About 3 inches long. Thick and plush. Anybody here for that one? I can't imagine. Number 2023, we've got a bid for. 2023, also in Kingsford, 50-foot lot, 130 feet deep. Older home. This is out just south of town on Birch Long Avenue, not too far from the wastewater treatment plant. $3,200. I've already got bid online. Anybody in the room want to give me 33? 33 way in the back, now 34 online. 35, 36, 3,700, now 38, 39, and $4,000. 5,000, he says down here. He just put his card down. I've got 5,000 with you. Anybody online at 51? Anybody in the room at 5,100? 5,000 right down here going once, twice. $5,000, 316. My backup bidder in the back of the room. What's your number back there? I'll put you on as the backup. 468. Number 2024 on Roseland. Vacant parcel. Just remember, if you buy vacant lots or anything that's in one of our cities, villages, or townships and you don't mow the grass, I'll mow it for you, and they don't work cheap. I need $700 for that one. I've got it right there in the room. Anybody want to give me $750? $700 going once, twice. You bought it. Bidder number is 1077 at the minimum bid. Number 2025. Anybody here today for the one on Fox Drive? Anybody here for that one? We already sold 2026, which moves us to Marquette County. We'll go back through the book a second time after the sale if there's something in there you saw and maybe you want to buy it. You just weren't ready then, or you were waiting on something else. Let's go to number 4,000 on Little Lake Road. Mostly marshlands, $700. Where's my bidder for that one at $700? We've got it online. Anybody in the room want to give me $750? $700 online, going once, twice. Sold it online at the minimum bid. Number 4001, I've got 3 bidders online, or I should say in the room, for this one today. Nothing online just yet. This one, the plan was to clean it out before the auction. I don't think that happened. We left all the good stuff for you. You are going to be on a first name basis with the dumpster driver by the time that you're done with this one. Dana Lane. This could be a nice little flip project if you have no sense of smell. This is your project today. It's full of a lot of food type garbage and it's been sitting out there in the summer sun waiting for you to come by. I need 5,400. Look at that, they're already on it online. Who wants to give me 6,000? All over the room. Let's play the card game again. 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20,000, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, $30,000. I'm starting with you at 30. All of your competition folded their 10 at exactly the same time. Who wants to give me 30 and a quarter? Anybody, anywhere? I've got $30,000 right there with you. What about online? $30,000 going once. 30 and a half. 31 and a half. 32 and a half. 33 and a half. 34 and a half. 35. I've got 35. Anybody in the room want to give me 35 and a quarter? I saw another card in the back just a minute ago. I've got 35 with the lady right there. Anybody want to give me 35 and a half and a quarter? 35 and a quarter, 35 and a half, 35, 750. Now 36,000, 36 and a quarter. I've got 36,000 with the lady. Anybody at 36, 250. 36,000 going once. 36 and a quarter, 36 and a half. Family discussion time. 36 and a half. That's a nice area out there. I've got 36 and a quarter with the gentleman down front. Anybody at 36.5? Anybody anywhere? 36 and a quarter going once. Twice. 30 and a quarter. What's the bidder number? 693. That was 5 minutes. 693. My backup bidder, 690. Number 4002. This is a garage that has had little living quarters built over the top of it. I think the former owners of this live in the house that's been constructed immediately to the west. I'm fairly certain of that, but not positive. Last we knew, they still have some stuff they might still be using up. They might have vacated by now. They know this is going on. 4002, I've got an online bid already for it at $3,700. I've got an advanced bid online, and it looks like I've got live bidders online. Anybody in the room want to give me 4,000 for that? 4,000 right here. Anybody else in the room want to give me 45? 41 online. 42. 4,200. 43. 44. 45. 46. 47. 48. 49. 5,000. 5,100. You want to go to 6? 6,000. 6,100. How about 7,000? 62. I've got $6,100 online. Anybody in the room want to give me 62? 62 over there. 63. You want to go to 7,000? 7,000. How about 8,000? 8,100. 9,000. 9,100. 10,000. 10 and a quarter. New bid increment. How about 11 and a quarter? 12,000 and a quarter. 13,000 and a quarter. 14,000 and a quarter. 15,000 and a quarter. 16,000 and a quarter. 17,000 and a quarter. 18,000 and a quarter. 19 and a quarter. $20,000 and a quarter. I'm at $20,000 and a quarter with a live bidder now online. A live bidder at 20 and a quarter, 20 and a half. 20,750. 21 and a quarter. You want to go to 22 and a quarter? How about 23 and a quarter? 24,000 and a quarter. 25,000 and a quarter. 26,000 and a quarter. I've got 26 and a quarter, 27, 27 and a quarter. 27,000 in the room. Going once, twice. You bought it. 27,000. What's the bidder number? 201. Backup bidder is online. We already sold 4,003. 4,005. We're not offering this piece online. It's occupied. If you're buying it here in the room today. $2,200 is what I'm looking for in this one. I've got it right there. Anybody want to give me $2,300? $2,200 going once. 23, 24, 2,500, 26, 2,700, 28, 29, $3,000, now 3,100, 32, 3,300. I've got 32 with the lady right there. Anybody in the room at 3,300? 32 going once, twice, 3,200, 675. My backup bidder, what's that number? 1038. On the next page, number 4006. Right out in the same area. We're out in Gwynn still. Last we knew, this one was occupied as well. I need a $3,200 bid for that one. I've got it way over there. Anybody want to give me 3,300? 32 back there going once, twice. You bought it. 3,200, 107. Is anybody here for number 4007? On Sands Street. 4007. Anybody anywhere? Not seeing any. Number 4008. This is an undivided 1/4 interest. A little note on the legalities of that. If you buy an undivided interest and you're not the complete owner of the property, you can't build or do anything on it unless you have the consent of all of the other owners. If you put something on it and somebody else wants you to take it off, they can make you take it off. So it is a 1/4 divided interest. I need 9. If you own the other 3/4, this is a good time to be buying it. I've got $950 as my minimum bid, and right there I've got my minimum bidder. Anybody want to give me a $1,000 bill for it? I've got $950 over there going once. Number 4008. $950 in the room, going once, twice. You bought it. What's the bidder number? 827. Already sold 4009 and 4010. Is anybody in the room chasing 4012? It's not circled in my book. We're going to skip it and go down to 4014 on Johnson Road. Old trailer here. Nobody'd been inside that one since Nixon was president, I don't think. Till we got there. It's a little creaky in the whole 9 yards. 4 people interested in this one. 4014. Did it freeze or are you just not there yet? There we go. Isn't that a beauty? $1,200 is what I'm looking for on that one. How many people want to give me $1,200 for it? Let's play the card game. 1,200, 13, 14, 1,500. How about 2,000? $2,500. 3,000, 3,500, 4,000, I'm going to start right there at $4,000. Who wants to give me $4,100? $4,000 going once, twice. That's yours. $4,345. My backup bidder. Who wants to be my backup? Number 670. Number 4015. Out in Big Bay. Cute little house. It has been modernized. Looks like some grant funds or something of that nature were used to modernize the house. It's got a boiler in it, and I did see some notices of some splits in the boiler piping. So I'm going to guess you got a little bit of plumbing repair to do before it gets cold there, or you're not going to have any heat. 4015, I've got 4 bids online on this one already. I'm starting out at about $7,000. Who wants to give me $7,500 for it? Anybody in the room? 75 right there. 8,000, 85, now 9, 9,500, 10,000. 10 and a half, 11, 11 and a half, 12, 12 and a half, 13, 13 and a half, 14,000, 14 and a quarter, 14 and a half. I've got you at 14 and a quarter. Anybody in the room want to give me 14 and a half? 14,750. 14,750, family conference going on. She says no, I'll take her word for that, even if he's got the card. 15 and a quarter. 14,750 online. 15,000. 15 and a quarter. 15 and a half. 15,750. 15 and a half. 15,750 now. $16,000. 16 and a quarter. 16 and a quarter. 16,500. 16,750. 17,000. 17 and a quarter. 17,500. He said he's done. I'm at 17. We've got a bidder online at 17,500. We've got 2 bidders online in my advanced bidding. These are both live bidders. Anybody in the room at 17,750? Anybody anywhere? 17,500 online. Going once. 17,750 right there. Now I need 18,000. 18 and a quarter. 18 and a quarter. I've got 18,000 online. 18 and a quarter. 18,000 online. Going once. 18 and a quarter. 18,500. 18,750. I'm at 18,500 online. Going once. 18,750. 19,000. 19 and a quarter. 19,500. 19,750. 20,000. 19,750. $20,000 online. 20 and a quarter. He said he's. Anybody in the room want to give me 20,250? $20,000 online. Going once. Twice. Sold it online. $20,000. My backup bidder is number 460. Number 4016. It is 18 feet wide, and somebody wants to buy it from us. I need $650 for it, probably the neighbor. I've got it right there in the back row. Anybody want to give me $700? $650 going once. Twice. Bring your bowling ball. It's all yours. What's the bidder number? Number 817 at the minimum bid. Anybody in the room here today to bid on 4018 out Republic Way? Anybody here for 4018? On the next page, let's go to 4019. On M35. Camp spot. Just remember those trailers and such that are on it, we do not have titles to them. We don't own them. We can't sell them to you. We can't even give them to you. I'm at $950. Who wants to give me a $1,000 bill for it? There's a well out there and power. 1,000, 1,100, now 12, and 1,300, 14, 15, 16, 17, 1,800, 19, $2,000, 2,100, now 22, 20, now 23, 2,400, 2,500. I've got you on at $2,400. You might go camping out there today. Anybody want to give me 25? 24 going once, twice. $2,400, 244. My backup bidder, what was his number? 1038. Anybody in the room to bid on 4023 today? Let's go down to 4024. I've got an online bid to open that one up with. 4024 on Johnson Street. It's decor challenged. It's not a bad house. It's just decorated. It looks like Stevie Wonder did it. Somebody that can't see decorated that house. I've got a $4,900 bid online. Anybody want to give me $5,000 in the room? $5,000 away in the back. Now I need $5,100. $5,100 online, now 52, now 53, 54, 5,500, now 56, 57, 58, 59, $6,000, now 6,100, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 6,800, now 69, $7,000, now 71, 72, 73, 7,400, now 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, $8,000, now 8,100, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, $9,000, 92, 93. You want to go right to 10 grand? 10,000 back there. Now I need 10 and a quarter online. 10 and a half, 10,750. 10, now I need 11,000. I've got it in the back of the room. Now 11 and a quarter, 11 and a half, 11,750. And now 12,000, 12 and a quarter, 12 and a half, 12,750. 13,000, now 13 and a quarter. 13,000 in the back of the room. Going once, twice. 13,000, number 770. Backup bidder is online. Anybody? Well, I guess we do have somebody interested in 4025, the last one in Marquette County. We're not doing any online bidding for this one. Small vacant lot, surface rights only. I need $900 for that little piece right there. $900 from the guy that lives next door. Anybody want to give me $950? I didn't think so. $900 going once, twice. You've probably already been mowing it. Now it's yours too. What's the bidder number? Number 688 at the minimum bid. Now to Schoolcraft County. Number 5900 on Robinson Street. This one is occupied, or was when we were by there. Not in bad condition. Older house, did not get a roll up close because it is occupied. I need $1,700 for it. I think I've got it in the room. 17 right there. Anybody want to give me 1,800? 18 back there. Now 19. 2,000. How about 2,500? 3,000. 3,500. 4,000. 4,500. 5,000. 50. 51. I've got 5,000 in the back row. Anybody want to give me 50, 100, What about online? 5,000 in the back row going once, twice. 5,000, number 302. My backup bidder, what's your number? Number 571. Number 5901, I've got 3 online bids for the one on Southside Road. 10 acres of land out here. We've been getting a lot of acreage this year, and it's selling for pretty good. This is a pretty piece of property. The access to this is from the east. That I didn't find it when I was out there on the ground, but I found it real quick on an aerial map once I got home. Wish I'd have been able to do that a little better. I'm already at $3,300 with an online bidder. Who wants to give me 35? I got 35 back there. Anybody in the room want to give me 4,000? I know you want to give me 36, don't you? I knew that. 37, 38, 39, 4,000, 41. I could ask you for 45 and you'll say no because you want to give me 42, and then you'll give me 45 in a few seconds. 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, and now 5,000. He just likes to make me work. 51, now 52, 53, now 54, and 5,500, 56, 57, 58, 59, $6,000, now 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, and $7,000. You want to give me 8,000? 8,000, 81. 81. I've got 8,000 with the lady. She ran you right off. Anybody want to give me $8,100 for that one? I've got 8,000 with the lady right there going once. 8,000 go now. 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 8,700. This is nice property. 88, 89, $9,000, 9,100, 92, 93, 94, 9,500, 96, 97, 98, 99, and now 10,000. New bid increment, 10 1/4. He said he's all done. I've got you at $10,000 on 10 acres. Anybody in the room want to give me 10, 250? 10,000 going once, twice. It's yours. 10,000, bidder 368. My backup bidder. What's the backup bidder's number? It is 1064. We already sold 5902. Is anybody in the room to bid on 5903? Off the duck trail. I'm not seeing any if there is. 5904. On the next page, I've only got one circle, and it's 5906. We'll read the rest of them. If you're here to buy them, get your card up in the air when I call off that number. 5904. We've got an online bid or two to open up 5906. Teeny tiny little place right in town. It's still got some personal property in it. It's got low ceilings. No tall people in this one. I've already got $3,100 online. Who wants to give me 32? Anybody in the room for this one at 3,200? 32 online with a live bidder. That could be the end of it. Anybody want to give me 33? Oh, they're still going. There's 3 of them. Look at that. $3,500 is where it's at right now. Anybody in the room want to give me 36? 35 going once. They're not done yet. $4,000 is what we're looking for. In the room at 4,000. 39 going once, twice. Sold it online, $3,900. Backup bidder is also online. Anybody here for 5907? 5908, 5909, 5911. On the next page, I've got an online bid for 5915. Delta Avenue, sharp looking place. Floors in the living room had a little bit of a dip to them. There wasn't not a basement under the house. Bring in your chainsaw, make a little hole, short back up, fill it back in, you're all set. I'm at $5,300 with an online bidder. You gonna give me 55? I've got 5,500 right there. Room want to give me 6,000 for this. We're gonna get there. 56. How about 6,000? 61. How about 7,000? 7,100. They can only go up $100 online at a time. How about 8,000? 81. How about 9,000? 91. 10,000. 10 and a quarter. 11,000. 11 and a quarter. 12,000. 12 and a quarter. 13,000. 13 and a quarter. 14,000. 14 and a quarter. 15,000. She says, oh, she's gonna go. 15 and a quarter. 15 and a half.
Keep going. One more.
I'm at 15 and a quarter with an online bidder. Anybody want to give me 15.5? 15.5, 15,750. Now 16. Never listen to him. He's full of it.
$500 more. So.
I've got 15,750 online. It's 16,000. Now 16 and a quarter. Now 16.5. See, I told you all those men all lie. I'm at 16 and a quarter with an online bidder. Anybody want to give me 16.5? He was coaching her on keep on going. He's not lying though about one thing. If you keep bidding, you will win sooner or later. Yeah. I'm at 16 and a quarter online. Anybody want to give me 16.5? Going once, twice. 16 and a quarter online.
You tried.
What's the backup bidder number? He was going all the way to 20,000, just in case you wanted to know. Can't tell you before, but I can tell you afterward. Anybody here for 59.16? 59.17? 59.18? I think we're up in the wetlands now. Always a nice big pile of frog farms in the city of Manistee. 59.21. That page that starts with 59.21, I have nothing circled on that whole page. Anybody here for those? Anybody? And that continues on to the next page. I do have a circle around 59.30. So let's go down there. It's the last one. 59.30 has a minimum bid of $4,500. I've already got it online. And I'm going to take, you want to give me 5,000? 5,100. How about 6,000? 52, 52, 53. $53, 5,300, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 6,000, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, and $7,000, 7,100, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, and 8,000, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 9,000, 91. He's thinking. He's done thinking. 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97. That would have gold in the basement. I've got $9,600 and it wouldn't be yours. $9,600 online. Anybody in the room want to give me $9,700? 96 going once, twice. Sold that one online at 9,600. My backup bidder number is 187. Thanks for coming. We will be in Watersmeet tomorrow with another great big sale. If there's anything in that book that you saw that you want to pick up at or above that minimum bid, come up and see us. We'll reopen anything that we did not sell at or above that price. We're going to also talk to the online bidders, see if there's anything they want as well. We're not going to really announce them or auction them in the room. We're just going to put them up here on the screen. If you're interested, come on up and watch the numbers flip around on the screen here. Thanks for coming.